Hello and welcome back to my channel. And these last few days I had to take a break from drawing. I tried to organize my sleep cycle, didn't succeed. I couldn't draw a detailed portrait in this break. Instead I drew these 10-minute sketches. 10 minutes is too long for these doodles, I know. They had to be drawn in 3 or 4 minutes, 5 at the most. But I'm not at that level, so they take me at least 10 minutes, sometimes 15 even, but I am going to decrease the time. These models, I take them from the Line of Art website. I'm going to put the link in the description. Generally, I choose nude models. They are more educative and not covered by clothes. By the way, when I was recording the last one, I forgot to paint over the guy's obvious parts, so I can't show the time-lapse video of that recording. I'll just show the finished product. I drew a portrait in between, but when I was recording, I noticed that I cheated more than necessary when I was sketching the Loomis face. When you look at this, the red lines are mine, but the blue lines are just tracing, and they are more than allowed, I think. That's why I didn't post that recording. The end result is something like this, not that great, but doesn't matter. The name of the series is Imperfect Drawings, so for me this is satisfactory at this time. Today I'm going to try to draw a portrait of Natalie Portman. I'll use this photograph. Well, it is Natalie Portman in this photograph, but every drawing lessens the resemblance to the original. And it's not 100% Natalie Portman, even in this photograph, I think. So the end product may be even less Natalie Portman. Well, we'll see. As usual, we'll start by tracing the Loomis sketch on the photograph. Her face seems to have the exact measurements of a Loomis face. The mouth region from the nose to the chin looks like a little longer than her nose. Maybe it's because her mouth is a little open. Maybe. Okay, let's try one without tracing. This is the traced version, and this is mine. Mine looks a bit narrower and longer. Let's check it on the photograph. It's not 100%, and I can draw a portrait on this sketch, ending with a fairly decent resemblance of her, but no, I will use some cheat. In my sketch, her left eye is out of place. I don't want it there, so the left eye, the nose, and a little bit of the lips. So what's left? But I am allowing myself. I'm not going hard on myself. In the end, I'm just a beginner, so I'm allowed, for now at least. There's a difficulty in drawing the female portraits than male ones. That is, when shading, it's much easier stroking lines on a male face, because even if it doesn't look like a shadow, male faces have more wrinkles, lines than a female face. So even random lines can look good on male faces, but on female ones, they're much smoother. Is that a word? Smoother? Or is it just more smooth? I don't know. Let's continue. Where was I? Because of the smoothness of the female skin, stroke of lines can look very off on them. And I'm drawing with only the inking pen. With pencil you can draw shade much easier, but that's not my goal. Now, this is a mistake I keep on making. I shouldn't draw my lines like this. When drawing from here to here, it should be only one stroke. But I'm drawing like this. a huge mistake, I know. My lines should be more confident. For example, this line could be much better if I could draw it like this. But I think I made at least 20 strokes. It gives a bad look. I hope I'll learn it in the future. By the way, if you're new at drawing, don't do it like I do. Even if your lines don't look good, just insist on it and make the least amount of strokes. You know what they say, the teachers teach what they cannot do. Yeah, that's the case here. Do what I say, don't do what I do. I'm so envious of the people who can do this in just one stroke. I imagine I will be able to do that sometime. The imperfections in the whites of the eyes add a realistic look to them. The shades, the veins, it's a little difficult to draw them with an inking pen, but if you're using a pencil, don't forget to add them. I mean, here, the shade of the eyelashes and the eyelid, though if you look at the highlights in Natalie Portman's pupils, the light comes directly ahead onto her face, so there's not much shade in her eyes, but there are imperfections. It's not 100% white. There are veins and so on, and do not forget to add them in your drawings. One of the hardest things is to draw the second eye exactly the same as the first one. In this app that I'm using, it's Autodesk Sketchbook, there's a symmetry tool. If you're drawing a person who's directly looking at you, let me find that. Where is it? Here. If you drag this in the middle of the face, when you draw the eye, it automatically draws the same to the other side. It's very useful when drawing from imagination. Of course, it doesn't work here. Natalie Portman is not directly facing us, and even if she was, normally the eyes are not exactly the same. It doesn't work when drawing portraits, but for an imaginary character, it can work. Okay, that's enough, I guess. No need to spend more time on this. In the end, for an imperfect portrait, it is satisfactory for me. Though if you close the photograph, it's a little hard to know that this is Natalie Portman, but this is what I can do at this level. I think I have finished my 132nd hour, 133 hours. Good, let's write that. In the next video, I want to show how I draw those 10-minute sketches from the Line of Art website. People recommend that exercise highly, especially before you start a project, for warming up your hands. They say it's very useful, but they shouldn't take more than 3 or 4 minutes. And they take me at least 10 minutes right now. I'm going to correct that. I'll try to make every video different from now on. I don't want anybody to get bored while watching these videos, and I hope you're not bored. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and you may consider subscribing. It would make me so happy. See you in the next video. Bye.